Have you ever seen 80,000 people cry, sing, and fall in love at the exact same moment with the same one man? Not in a movie, not in a fairy tale, but this really happened in Europe last week. What happens when a concert is no longer a stage for one person, but becomes a stage of love belonging to everyone who is there? What is the secret behind the sea of red that suddenly appeared in every stadium where Bruno Mars performed on his romantic tour? And why, for the first time in his career, did Bruno Mars look so shaken, so helpless, that he had to stop his song in the middle? If you think you already know everything about Bruno Mars, about his charm, about his music, then get ready, because what I am going to tell you today will change your entire perspective on what a truly romantic concert means. Welcome back to Brunomars channel. In this video, we will uncover the global phenomenon that is making the whole world talk about it. The phenomenon where the audience, especially the adult women who came with hearts full of longing, are no longer just spectators, they become part of the show itself. They are the concert. And believe me, if you watch this video until the very last second, you will find one shocking psychological fact about why Bruno Mars deliberately created this concept. A fact he has never revealed in any media. A very personal and heart-touching reason that is connected to his mother. So make sure you stay here.
I love you, London. Good night.
It all started not from Bruno Mars' creative team. And this is the most beautiful part of this story. The idea of the red ocean did not come from the stage, but came from the audience itself. At the beginning of the European tour, precisely at the opening concert in Paris, at the Stade de France, there was a simple upload on TikTok from a 52-year-old female fan from Lyon. In her video, she said, "If Bruno is going to give us the most romantic night of our lives, why don't we give the most romantic night for him as well?" She invited everyone who would come to the Paris concert to wear something red, the color of love, the color of roses, the color of a pounding heart. She also invited them to bring a single red rose and a small fan. At first, no one thought it would become big. Only a few hundred likes. But love, when it is sincere, it is more contagious than any virus. Within 48 hours, the video was watched by more than 11 million people. Facebook groups of Bruno Mars fans consisting of mothers, career women, grandmothers who have followed Bruno since the Just the Way You Are era, they all agreed. They made WhatsApp groups, they made a promise. And when the concert night in Paris arrived, what the production team saw left them speechless. From the stage, Bruno Mars saw something he had never seen before in his 15-year career. Usually he sees a sea of cell phone lights. That night, he saw a sea of red. Maroon red, blood red, rose red. Thousands of women, from ages 25 to 75, all wearing red dresses, red blouses, some even wearing red bridal veils. And when the stadium lights dimmed, and the intro of Die With a Smile began to play, simultaneously, thousands of fans were opened. The sound of the flapping fans sounded like the rustling of wings. And on every fan, there was handwriting, some printed with glitter, saying "Hot for Bruno." You can imagine the feeling of a performer who has performed at the Super Bowl, in front of hundreds of millions of people, suddenly being rendered helpless by this sight. According to the testimony of one stage crew member that leaked to Rolling Stone Media, Bruno whispered to his guitarist, Phil, with a trembling voice, "Look at them, Phil, they did this for us. This is no longer about me." And this is the core of the edutainment that we want to learn today. In the psychology of modern concerts, there is a term called collective effervescence, a term first coined by the sociologist Emil Durkheim. It means when a group of people gathered together feel the same emotion intensely, they will lose their individual boundaries and merge into one emotional entity. This is what happened on the Romantic Tour. Bruno Mars no longer sings a love song to his audience. He sings a love song with his audience. When he sings "When I Was Your Man," he is no longer singing about his own regrets, he is singing about the regrets of every woman in that stadium, about the love they once let go. This phenomenon then did not stop in Paris. In fact, Paris was the trigger. The next day, the video of the Red Sea in Paris went viral all over the world. The hashtag Red for Bruno became the #1 trending topic throughout Europe. And the fans in the next city, in Berlin, they felt challenged. If Paris could do it, Berlin had to do it more romantically. So in Berlin, they added one more element. Not just red clothes and fans. They brought real red roses. One person, one stem. Imagine the logistics. 70,000 red roses into one Olympic stadium in Berlin. The security initially forbade it for fear of dirtying the stage. But these fans, in a very elegant and mature way, they negotiated. They said, "We will not throw them. We will hold them high when Bruno sings Just the Way You Are, as a symbol that we too love him just the way he is." And when that moment arrived, Bruno Mars really stopped singing. There is an amateur video recorded from the front row, which has now been watched 40 million times, where it is clearly visible that tears are welling up in Bruno's eyes. He stared at that sea of red roses. He covered his mouth with his hand. He tried to smile, but his voice cracked. He then said in a voice that was almost inaudible because of the roaring cries of the audience, "You all look so beautiful tonight. I have never felt so loved in my entire life." And at that second, the entire stadium broke down. Not because of teenage hysteria, but because of the emotional tears of adults, who felt that finally their love that they had kept inside all this time, their love for the music that had accompanied their marriages, their divorces, the births of their children, was finally reciprocated. This is what distinguishes the Romantic Tour from Bruno Mars' previous tours, such as the 24K Magic World Tour, which was full of parties and energy. If the previous tour was about celebrating fun, then this Romantic Tour is about celebrating vulnerability. Bruno, at a more mature age, now 40 years old, he no longer just wants to be the cool entertainer with his James Brown dance moves. He wants to be a safe place. He wants his concert to be a space where women, especially adult women who often feel invisible in a music industry obsessed with youth, feel seen, feel appreciated, feel beautiful again. And those women repaid him in the most romantic way. They became living decorations. They became part of the theme. In Amsterdam, thousands of fans came with bridal veils. In London, at Wembley Stadium, they all wore red satin gloves. In Madrid, they brought handwritten love letters and held them up together. Each city has its own romantic characteristic, but the common thread remains the same, the red color of love. A senior music journalist from The Guardian, who has covered concerts for 30 years, wrote, "I have seen the Beatles, I have seen Queen, but I have never seen such a mature and beautiful reciprocal relationship between a superstar and his audience. This is no longer idolatry. This is a love partnership." Then the question is, why can this happen now? Why is it only on this romantic tour that the audience feels called to be part of the show? The answer lies in one small, but fundamental change that Bruno made to his set list, and the way he talks on stage. On this tour, Bruno is more silent between songs. He listens more. He often comes down from the stage, walking among the audience rows, not for high fives like before, but to look into their eyes one by one. He held the hand of a 68-year-old woman and said, "Thank you for waiting." He hugged a mother who brought a photo of her daughter, who had just passed away, who loved Bruno so much. These moments were recorded and went viral, and subconsciously, it sent a strong psychological message to everyone that this concert is not about me up there and you down there. This concert is about us. And when humans feel given space to be part of something beautiful, they will give everything. They will not become rioters. They will not become passive spectators. They will become guardians of that beauty itself. That is why on this romantic tour, the number of audience disturbance incidents is 0%, the lowest number in the history of European stadium tours this year. Because when you wear your best red dress, bringing a rose that you bought with your own money, you will not ruin that moment. You will protect it. If you are one of those amazing women who were there in your red dress, I want to hear your story. How did it feel to be part of that history? Write your city and your experience in the comments column below, because I will read them all and the best story will be featured. And if you haven't subscribed, press that button now, because part 2 will be much more heart-touching, and you don't want to miss it.